water comes out of them. And so what's happened here is here we've got our nice osteoclast is actually pulled away from the surface here. But can you see how this is kind of shaped around, and you can see how this cell would fit into that space. So this is your Hauschiltz lacuna here, right? They tend to be, some of them are quite shallow. Here's another one. See how this is kind of shallow, where this guy would reside. This one hasn't quite made a Hauschiltz lacuna yet. But in fact, in this case here, when you see these kind of divots, there's one here, here, here. These are probably all Hauschiltz lacuna. This guy's probably traveled along this bone, just chomping his way along here. Okay? Remodeling that bone. This, again, here's probably a Hauschiltz lacuna. Here's the osteoclast that resides in that lacuna. It looks like this one, the osteoclast is moving away, and it looks like you've already got osteoblasts coming to sit down on the surface here. But for me to, I mean, here, I could ask you on this one here, so I would put a little dotted line along here and say, name this space. Here's your osteoclast. That space there would be your Hauschiltz lacuna. Okay, yes?
Can you show us endosteum again?
Okay, so endosteum, all of this surface that you can see along here, all of that is endosteum. Okay?
And this is cancellous bone.
This is cancellous bone, correct? So if I said name the tissue, be specific, cancellous bone would be good. All right. Very difficult to tell whether this is lamellar or woven, but look at the organization of your lacunae and your osteocytes. Lots of osteocytes, pretty disorganized. Still some bluish stuff in here. So this is probably woven bone. Okay. Now, as we get more organized bone, let me see if I can find us some more organized. Not really very good examples, but again, because this is very young bone. Yeah. I don't really see examples of lamellar bone without osteoblasts along them. So if I'm going to ask you about lamellar bone, really I'm going to have osteoblasts on the surface all lined up so that you can really be sure that it's lamellar bone. Okay? Yes?
On the lab test, would you ask us about the types of growth? Like, would you say, is this endochondrial, lemminous, apositional, interstitial?
I could actually ask you, is this, what kind of growth occurs at this surface here? Appositional growth, right? Does this tissue undergo interstitial growth?
No.
Think very carefully.
No.
What does interstitial growth in the cartilage allow the cartilage to do? Increase in size, okay? If we filled up all these spaces with bone, would this bone be any bigger? No. So this bone does not undergo interstitial growth, okay? Again, if you think of the lacunae and the osteocytes sitting in the lacunae, that lacunae, you can't squeeze the matrix away from that lacunae because it's mineralized, all right? The chondrocyte, on the other hand, when it's sitting there and it's laying down its matrix and they divide and they lay down more matrix, that matrix can actually be pushed away from the cell so it can continue to make matrix, divide again, make more matrix, okay? That cannot happen with the osteocytes. So no interstitial growth. Yes?
Do chondroblasts lay down lamellar bone?
No.
I mean osteoblasts.
Osteoblasts lay down all the bone, okay, all the types of bone. When they're working in rows, like we can see down here, you see these whole rows of osteoblasts. This is when they're making lamellar bone. When we look at them, especially if we look at them up here, where you have truly woven bone, you can see we really don't have any osteoblasts on the surface here. You have the odd one every now and then, and that's a feature of woven bone. In woven bone, they're not working in rows together. It's just every osteoblast for himself, okay? Or herself. Anything you want me to cover again? Anything I've missed?
I have a question. What about all of the stuff in the first lab? Like, is that going to be...
Yes, that will be on the exam. All of the histological methods There can be questions from those, but again, they will be associated with pictures, okay, in the lab.
So there might
portion.
be EMs.
There could be ENs asking you for, whether you're looking at cilia or microvilli or mitochondria, yeah. And if you have any problems with any of that, we can sit and go over that after this. All right.
Thank you.
It's been my pleasure.